I ain't never made a call to Diddy. I got Diddy's number, just hit him up. Yo, Diddy, what up? Never happened.
He told me to take me shop. I looked at him like, what you just said?
Ooh, this is a tight one. And the winner is Eminem, the Eminem Show.
Wait, he didn't just spell the word rapper and leave out a P, did he?
I don't need to worry about me getting revenge from Diddy. I've got 3 moves that make sure he'll never be able to come after me or my family. First, I personally reached out to the victims' legal teams. The real reason he's not getting out is those buried cases behind the scenes. I provided legal funding for 7 victims who had been silent for years and brought in the top criminal attorneys in the country. Second, I bought up every potential post-release business deal he had lined up. I planned this 2 years in advance, so by the time he got sentenced and still had hope of getting out, every partner had already cut ties with him. Third, I don't just have evidence, I've got backups. This is an entire minefield that's been buried for 20 years. I uncovered every secret from the last 30 years. With testimonies from the victims, we interviewed over a dozen people he tricked, threatened, or violated. You think that's harsh? No, he destroyed other people's lives for decades. I'm just making sure he spends a few extra years in prison for it. I'm not afraid of his people, not afraid of his threats. I know he's still in there fantasizing about a comeback, but the truth is, he's never coming back.
That's why I don't be going to them puppy parties. They can hug you from the front and the back at the same time. What the fuck you talking about? Look, if you into that, I'm fine with it. See if you saw. I'm just saying this ain't my down the party. I like it. It's uncomfortable. I think I belong in the girls' bathroom. Like that is good.
Reason why their groups are so close is because all of them have a certain type of STD. I think they all got the alphabet. Now, bear with me, guys, because I'm not even trying to cap. I looked at it like this. You know they're not using condoms, right? So if you're in a party not using condoms, it ain't like you could catch something twice, right? You know, so if you already got something, ain't like you can catch it again. So I believe, one of my theories is that these people at these Diddy parties were so close because they all had STDs.
I didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties.
Yeah.
So a lot of the celebrity culture that you don't hear saying anything is because they participate. So,
was there a reason you never went to those parties back in the day? Obviously, I know what's going on there, but is there a reason you never did?
I'm just not with all that. All of the stuff that he's doing, I'm not into that type of stuff. I'm just a little more, maybe you could say basic or normal.
For decades, hip-hop has thrived on outsized personalities, bitter rivalries, and secrets that never stay buried forever. Power struggles simmer quietly until one moment pulls everything into the open. One of the most visible and long-running tensions in the culture is the uneasy relationship between 50 Cent and Diddy. What began as silent competition between 2 New York heavyweights slowly hardened into something far more personal. Over nearly 20 years, 50 Cent repeatedly took public jabs at Diddy, turning subtle shade into open hostility whenever the spotlight allowed it. But in recent years, this feud has shifted from jokes and internet trolling into much darker territory. 50 Cent has claimed he holds insider knowledge about what allegedly took place at Diddy's infamous private parties. According to him, multiple high-profile celebrities were involved, and his comments sent shockwaves through the music industry. Old tensions resurfaced overnight, and the conversation quickly spiraled into heated public debate. In this breakdown, we trace how the rivalry began, what 50 Cent has suggested about Diddy's extravagant inner circle, and how his accusations eventually pointed toward a growing list of celebrities rumored to have attended those exclusive events. The roots of the conflict stretch back to the early 2000s. At the time, 50 Cent was rebuilding his life after surviving 9 gunshot wounds and being dropped by his record label. With his career hanging by a thread, he turned to ghostwriting just to survive. Years later, 50 revealed that one of those ghostwritten verses ended up being performed by Diddy on G-Dep's track, Let's Get It. Although the two never officially collaborated, that moment placed them in the same orbit. From there, the relationship stayed cold and distant, an unspoken tension quietly forming in the background. What started as industry proximity would eventually evolve into a feud that played out loudly publicly, and with consequences that still echo through hip-hop today.
And you're living after being shot 9 times.
I don't know what the criteria is off of street credibility. Or
That's
if
it.
If there's something that creates more merit for you. I looked at that experience as something that was unfortunate that I had to.
I forget, why did the guy shoot you 9 times? Was it drugs or something?
It was paid to do it.
He was paid to do it.
Yeah.
Who would want to shoot you?
Why were you targeted?
You're such a good guy.
It's my past.
It was a drug thing?
No,
like a business thing?
Karma.
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 Explain to me again why this guy was hired to shoot you 9 times.
Well, you was paid because someone, felt like that I would potentially do something to them if they kept going in the direction that they were going.
Man, you are tough.
What are you talking about?
The fact that somebody put out a hit on him because he was going to f somebody up? What kind of shit is that? That's crazy.
What is this all over?
I don't know.
It's difficult to explain, Robin, because when you're not actually in the environment or involved in this
Just
type of-
You can explain it to me.
Explain it. We'll see if we can follow it.
Nah, man, it's just,
What happened? What had you...
it's
what-
so tough.
You were pissed off at someone and you were going after them. What were you pissed off about?
Nah, we was just having differences.
Oh, like over what? A woman?
Nah,
No
just
way.
going back and forth. Like, a guy got robbed in the actual neighborhood.
And he accused you of robbing.
Nah, he just seen me communicating with someone who actually
robbed him.
And he misinterpreted the conversation because he seen me laughing and us talking, but he didn't know I grew up with the guy.
You're talking to a guy who you don't even know up this other guy.
Yeah.
And now all of a sudden they think you're in cahoots with this guy.
Yeah, because you see you laughing and talking, they figure you laughing and talking about them.
Pain-wise, how bad is it to get shot in the face? Like, I mean...
Probably... I don't know how to describe that outside of...
Is it a 10 on the pain scale?
It's not really like... Because it's not as painful as having to visit the dentist repeatedly for root canal.
Really? Do you think you're dead at that point? When you take 9 bullets, do you go, oh, this is it, I'm checking out?
Well, it's a life-threatening situation. It's just not... I've seen people going to the hospital under circumstances that were way less intense and not come out.
Yeah, it's a miracle you lived. Did you think you were like Jesus had saved you or something? Like, did you have a religious...
Where were all these bullets?
Well, yeah, you have those moments where you get a little closer connection to your higher power because you kind of don't have an answer.
But where were all these bullets? Because if you're shot 9 times and you live, it probably didn't hit anything important.
Meanwhile, how lame is this guy who shot you?
Everything's important, Robin. Everything's important.
But 50, how lame is this guy?
You in one of your unimportant areas, Robin.
Yeah, right. What's an unimportant area? You're right.
What the?
Oh, yeah, he shot you in unimportant areas.
I'm talking medically.
But it's amazing your face isn't scarred from getting shot in the face, right?
I got the little dimple.
Oh, is that what?
By 2002, 50 Cent was rapidly establishing himself as one of hip-hop's most fearless and unfiltered voices, someone who never backed down from confrontation and never softened his message for anyone. As his profile grew, Diddy became one of his most frequent targets, but this wasn't just about competition or ego. Behind 50's words was a deep-rooted sense of distrust that went far beyond a typical rap rivalry. Instead of avoiding the tension, 50 Cent leaned into it. Through Instagram posts, interviews, and even his own television platforms, he openly mocked and challenged Diddy. Some of the remarks came off as jokes on the surface, but many carried sharper undertones. He questioned Diddy's conduct, poked holes in his carefully crafted public image, and repeatedly pointed to what he saw as a gap between the persona Diddy showed the world and the person he believed operated behind closed doors.
And it's like all of Puff's problems are coming from the ministers touching little boys. What you mean? The laws are the way they are because
Because of the priests.
The priests touching little boys.
Yeah. Oh. Why is everyone looking at me, bro? I just go to church. I just go to church, right? I have nothing to do with this. I have an alibi.
That's why the laws allow you to go that far back.
Turn away from you right here. I'm just a Catholic kid. Come on. You've been diddled, dude. No. What's the body of Christ taste like? It's sacrilegious. You can't do that.
He's like, yo, drink my blood.
Yo. So it is crazy when after 20 years they come out. That is foul.
But with Puffy, you were the only one saying anything for decades.
Yeah, because we had our own little thing.
But you were the only. Everybody else is scared.
Huh?
But everybody else is scared. So you think maybe this is a similar thing where everybody else is scared? I don't know what it is. I'm just asking.
I think they're scared.
But if they're scared, then that's what I'm thinking.
Insinuating Jay-Z a little bit.
Yeah.
Like you've been saying people are gonna come for him a little bit.
No. I thought he would do funky stuff like the Super Bowl. Like it was not okay for me to be at the Super Bowl.
Oh, he tried to cut that.
Yeah, he didn't want me to. Well, they worked to make like there was an issue with me in the NFL that doesn't exist.
And so he did the corporate way of trying to keep you down. Oh, it's not me. It's them.
It's them. And then when M says he's not gonna do it if I'm not there, then
let's go.
Yeah.
That's what's your and Jay's issue?
It's just competitive stuff.
It's really just competitive.
This is what I'm saying. When it gets past actual art, like actual music, and you're trying to block something that's in business, then it feels weird. It feels like we should be having beef.
Oh,
okay.
So that's the behind the scenes thing that we don't see. It's one thing when there's like people talking about each other in music, but there's behind the scenes business deals that a guy is getting involved with on the side, and it's not like you're going to go public and be like, they tried to stop my vitamin water.
This deal, and you go, he said that to you, like.
Wow.
Like they'll speak to your temperament. Like say, 50's a little crazy. He'll say anything. You see what saying anything did to Kanye.
So they're he's basically trying to scare people out of doing you.
He later announced plans for a full documentary series centered entirely on his long-running feud with Diddy and the expanding wave of allegations surrounding him. This was not a quick social media stunt or a momentary grab for attention. It was a calculated, tightly structured project aimed at revealing what 50 Cent claimed was the hidden side of one of the most powerful figures in the music industry. By May, 50 Cent had already secured a deal with Netflix, selling the rights to the series and guaranteeing the story a massive global platform. With that move, his accusations were no longer just internet talk, they were set to become a worldwide conversation.
Thank you. Now let's get to a few of this morning's other big headlines.
Starting with a bombshell announcement amid the mounting lawsuits against Sean Diddy Combs, Houston rapper 50 Cent announced yesterday that he's the executive producer of a docuseries about the assault and allegations against Combs. The series will also discuss trafficking and racketeering charges Combs is facing. The series is expected to make a premiere on Netflix, but a date has not yet been set.
So you have something huge coming up, which is a documentary about P. Diddy, Puff Daddy, P. Diddy.
Yeah.
Did he do it, right? I know you've been heavy on social media talking about it.
He did it. And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually.
Oh, you've been saying this for a long time now. And then no one was, they're just, why is he saying this? And now it's coming out like crazy.
But I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties.
Yeah.
So a lot of the celebrity culture that you don't hear saying anything is because they participated.
Was there a reason you never went to those parties back in the day? Obviously, I know what's going on there, but is there a reason you never did?
I'm just not with all that freaky. All of the stuff that he's doing, I'm not into that type of stuff. I'm just a little more, maybe you could say basic or normal. You go to the 90s, and PPD said he paid him to kill Tupac.
Yeah.
So look, you get the craziest accusations. You had TMZ created a docuseries. They went to Tubi, but the series is saying the downfall of Diddy.
You're one of the first persons in entertainment that really call out people and kind of have that authority in that to be able to call people out. I mean, which is pretty amazing. You're kind of, in some ways, draining the swamp of Hollywood.
I don't have a support system. I don't have a support system of a peer group of artists that I require to do what I'm doing. I've had to be on my own from the beginning. So I don't necessarily have a responsibility to behave a certain way according to them. And if I didn't have an award-winning director doing it, if I hadn't put the right people in place to produce it properly, I would understand why they would question or doubt anything.
Let me ask you this: do you think she knew what he was doing?
I believe she knew he was doing the freak-offs, but do I believe she knew he was allocating different monies to different places and which way it was going, which offshore accounts, which Swiss banks accounts, and all this shit was going in? Nah. I think she just was enjoying the fruits of the labor.
But why you believe she knew about the freak-offs?
Because one of the witnesses said she was there. And do you remember this, bro? Check it out. People tell off on themselves so much, man, and I don't understand when people don't catch it. Diddy has said this. He said, when I give a party, I have to have an ambulance outside of the house. Paramedics ready. That people have to take IVs Remember the time that him and his mama kissed each other on the lips?
Yeah, I remember that video.
Do you remember that both of them was getting the IV at the same time?
Yeah, I did notice that, bro.
That's from the Diddy Freak Off party. And I'm gonna say allegedly.
So let me ask you this. You knowing her at you knowing her personally, is she the kind of person that, will be a part of a freak off with?
I think that she liked to party, and she party with young people. She's always been like that.
But to get back to this lawsuit, right? Lil Rod, he also alleges that, Diddy, he would grope his genitals and he would grope his anus.
My man, I didn't understand that one right now because his anus is your asshole. His genitals is his nut. So I guess he had to be naked when Puff was doing that. Where was he at? What was he doing? Because he said that they never had. So if you read it in the thing, they never had. He made claims that they never had. But how would he grope your anus? Your asshole? How would he play with your genitals?
Yeah, it don't make sense. I mean,
it don't make sense. How you wake up butt the F naked with two other men in the bed with Diddy and nothing happened? I think he was just trying to save face, man.
But do you think it's a possibility that he meant that, Diddy will grope his, butt, instead of anus? I mean, because I'm trying to figure out how does that work, somebody groping your anus.
You're going to say your butt. The lawyer would say, what do you mean? He would say, my butt cheeks. There's a such thing called butt cheeks. Your two cheeks. He said anus. The anus is the asshole. How did he get that far? Lil Rod, you gotta say no to Diddy something. No, that shit ain't funny, man. But you gotta say no.
So from you reading the lawsuit, right, you feel like he had relations with Diddy?
When me being a former investigator, I think Lil Rod was trying to save face on certain things, that he had somewhat of a relationship or he was doing some things with Diddy that he didn't want to really come out in that fashion. Because there's no way that he gonna wake up and his anus is hurting and his genitals is all over the place and he's in the bed after being drunk or drugged and saying nothing happened. And you think that Diddy gonna be in the bed with 3 other men and nothing happened? It doesn't sound logical. If we're reading and believing what he said in those papers. If you woke up in bed and you was drunk or intoxicated on ecstasy, on whatever drugs that they put in there, roofied you or whatever, and you not feeling right, something is wrong. Wouldn't you say? Something is wrong. He didn't say, we woke up with all my clothes. He said, we woke up butt the F naked.
For now, the situation remains unsettled. Even so, 50 Cent continues to insist that a list exists and that it will eventually be made public. When Diddy's trial came to an end, he was cleared of the most serious accusations, including racketeering and trafficking. However, he was convicted on charges related to transporting women for prostitution. That outcome alone fueled long-standing speculation about his private life, suggesting that at least some of the rumors were not entirely unfounded. For 50 Cent, this moment marked a critical shift. Rather than simply mocking Diddy over the court's decision, he presented the verdict as validation of what he had been implying for years. In his view, it exposed a lifestyle built on manipulation and deception, and reinforced his belief that the full truth was still waiting to come out.
The violation I have experienced during the assault has had lasting effects on my body, causing ongoing health problems and complications. The combination of physical and emotional pain has created a cycle of suffering from which it is so hard to break free. I want to continue on this journey towards recovery and healing. I'm glad that he is locked up, but that a temporary feeling of relief.
The fallout only seemed to give 50 Cent more momentum. With courtroom evidence now exposed to the public, it became increasingly difficult to dismiss his warnings as empty attacks. Each new development added weight to his claims, and in hip-hop, credibility is everything. What's often misunderstood is that 50's approach has never been random trolling. Every move is deliberate. By tying Diddy's legal troubles directly to his documentary project, he keeps the story alive long after the headlines fade. Through constant Instagram posts, sharp jokes, and public mockery, he refuses to let the conversation die. And by repeatedly teasing the existence of a mysterious list of celebrities, he keeps both fans and industry insiders on edge. No one knows if or when he'll ever name names, but everyone knows that if anyone is bold enough to do it, it's 50 Cent. This strategy goes far beyond targeting one man. It's about controlling the narrative and forcing the industry to confront truths it may have buried for decades. The public has been glued to his every post and comment. Social media explodes each time he cracks a joke or drops another cryptic hint. Many fans are convinced he knows far more than he's saying, and they're waiting for the moment he finally reveals everything. Inside the industry, though, the reaction is very different. Most celebrities have chosen silence. Few are willing to risk angering powerful allies or drawing attention to themselves if they were ever connected to those private events. That silence speaks volumes and only adds weight to 50's claims. If there were truly nothing to hide, why haven't more people stepped forward to deny it? For many in the music business, staying quiet is the safest move. Diddy still holds influence, deep connections, and loyalists willing to protect him. Speaking out could mean career suicide. But 50 Cent isn't built like most people. He's already constructed empires beyond music, spanning film, television, business ventures, and real estate. He doesn't rely on industry approval. He doesn't need permission to speak. And that freedom is exactly what allows him to be louder, bolder, and more fearless than anyone else.
His thing was turning straight men gay. That was his thing. Where's Hype? What's his last film project?
Belly?
Yeah, DMX was a star in that.
Facts. Facts. Jab, my question to you is, and again, we're just talking the psychology of a man.
What if the entertainment industry is nothing but a cover for a worldwide ring?
You mentioned who's on tapes and who got tapes out.
Yeah.
The purpose of having a recorded freak off.
Yeah.
What does that do for the male? What does that do for the female? Like, some females are cool with it. What is the thought behind that as far as, let's record this session and either rewatch, keep it for sale? Is it evidence? Is it just, like, what is the mentality behind having
if you can
the
own
visual memory?
Their vulnerability, if you can own that, you have the ability to control and manipulate that person. See, guys start off by saying, "Oh, man, I don't want to watch porn. I just want to watch us." See, that's the line.
That's the line.
Would you rather me be watching us than watching a bunch of other? See, the finesse, that fluff. Do you really want me watching anybody else but you? I could look at you all day. Vanity. See, make her feel special. Make her feel like she's the only, the object. Meanwhile, this is sitting here thinking, so her daddy works at Sony and I need such and such as contract ended.
Does it also work this way for men?
Absolutely. And it's worse for the men. Women are used to being the victims of, not men. No man walks in thinking that another man is looking at him like a lollipop. Not a straight man. You are only hip to the that you hip to. You know what I mean? which is why you hear so many people say they went to Diddy parties and they felt like something was off and decided to leave, or they got invited to another room and they decided to go because they felt like it wasn't right, or whatever the case may be. These is literally walking in there not thinking. Seriously, like, but the thing is, they were still willing to take the chance to go because everybody's been hearing these whispers.
This has moved far beyond revenge or entertainment for 50 Cent. For him, it's about accountability. He's made it clear that he wants Diddy to face real consequences, and he's determined to use every tool available to push that outcome. That means leveraging social media, documentary filmmaking, and potentially revealing the names of others who may have been involved along the way. In 50's view, the truth isn't meant to stay buried forever, and sooner or later he believes it will surface, no matter how long it takes or who it unsettles.
I didn't do nothing Puffy did. Yeah, no, it was just so excitement. There's so much excitement that there was no reason for me to put something in our drink.
Oh my goodness.
I need you to remember. I need you to remember this.
The foundation.
Thank you. Thank you.
We haven't liked each other business-wise for a long time.
Well, that's why it's only business. It was really, away from that, I explained why I didn't hang out with him. Right? Because
It's not your scene.
It's not my style.
Not your scene.
They hug you from the front and the back at the same time. I got uncomfortable with him because the way he was acting to try and get me to hang out with him was like, yo, I'll take you shopping. Like, and I'm like, what you mean? Like, that's something you say to a woman you're attracted to, maybe.
Right.
It's just weird, bro. Like, and now you start to see a lot of the weird stuff that was there. It looks like it all lines up, don't it? It was not in the closet. It was in front of you and you wasn't seeing it because you see the beards. Or you see the girls. So you didn't look at them the way it actually is to a degree. And when I say people respond, how people respond to things matter, like the internet will take to it and just go off with it. Meek responds being the uncomfortability. He goes, yo, I gotta spend $100,000 to find out why my name is in this like this. And it's in it only because he's uncomfortable. You don't hear him talking about French. French was right there. Right? Why you get so quiet? You guys make me feel like I'm so scared.
Well, I mean, there's a lot. There's a lot.
No, they see this. You see this. They see this.
They see it.
Nah, you see this. They want to act like that. Oh, we got nothing to do with that. If we could just...
No, that ain't it.
The feud between 50 Cent and Diddy has stretched across nearly 2 decades, but it has now reached a point where it's about far more than jokes or personal insults. 50 Cent claims he has information about celebrities who were impacted after attending Diddy's infamous parties, and he seems determined to bring that knowledge into the open. With a documentary series set to stream on Netflix, the conflict is no longer private, it's public. What once played out through comments and interviews is now unfolding on a global stage, and the stakes have never been higher.